one, take one, action. Hello, my name is Annabeth and I'm a cosplayer. Cosplay is the act of getting dressed up kind of in an everyday life. So the etymology of the word cosplay is costume play. It's a really creative outlet to turn pop culture and movies and TV shows, anything that you really love, and bring them into real life. So the best thing about cosplay is that you kind of do everything. You have to figure out what the character wears, first of all, and then figure out the details of it. Any special embellishments or pattern pieces, how does it look on the character and how can you translate that into real life? Figuring out all those little details behind the scenes. And then once you have all of those details, you kind of actually have to go into making it, which is the long part. It's not just sewing, because sewing is like the act of putting the piece of clothing together. But there's so many other things. If the character has any props, how are you going to make the props, right? A lot of the times characters have a different hair color than you, a different hairstyle, so there's wigs. Wig making. Personally, I don't like wig making, so I outsource that. But everyone's a little bit different. Everyone does different parts of the cosplay making process. Once everything is on, makeup, hair, accessories, costume, obviously, you've just kind of morphed into that character. But I remember like looking in the mirror for certain characters, and this is the first time that everything has been put together. And it's just like, oh my gosh, who am I? This is so cool. I actually did that. I did that. But yeah, it's a really beautiful feeling close to a character in that way, once it's all done and put on. I started cosplay in 2014. One Halloween, I dressed up as Rarity from My Little Pony. But I didn't want to just dress up as Rarity. I wanted to like be the character, or what I perceived the character to be. So that was the year that I convinced my parents to let me get like a wig, and I put together like a legit costume. I didn't know what I was doing at the time. I looked into it a little bit more and was like, wait, what's this cosplay thing? This is a Wendy Disney bound I'm working on. This is the one that I have to fix the lining issue with. This was the Star Wars cosplay that I wore to meet Hayden Christensen. I kind of understand the concept of third spaces as a place you can go that's not home and that's not school, work, that you can kind of just go and be yourself and hang out with other people and have that space to have like community. It's tough to find the third spaces now because we don't really have a place to go. And I think that's why online has become so big, like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, whatever you use, right? It's become so big because it's just the one place that you can go that you know you'll bump into any number of people that are in that same community as you. These are custom-made Percy and Annabeth Funko Pops. Somebody gifted them to me from Instagram. She just reached out and was like, hey, you're a really cool Annabeth cosplayer. I have these things that I made. Would you want them? I'm like, yes, please. That's so cool. I made my Instagram account kind of in response to one of my closest friends at the time making an Instagram account. It was the fact that I turned it into cosplay that made it different. I loved building this online community where everyone who followed me and everyone I followed, we vaguely like at least know of each other, and we're all kind of doing the same things, which was really, really fun. Everyone had the same interests, which was big. And I guess that's what's so important about online communities and what people really like about them, because there's always a niche and there's always other people in that niche. A lot of people that I've become friends with through the cosplay community on Instagram, it started as a follow, and I think your work is really cool, and then comments and maybe a couple DMs back and forth, and then I'll meet them in person because we go to the same conventions. That's how I've made a lot of my friends, my cosplay friends. It's been, I follow you, wait, oh my gosh, you're going to the same convention as me? Let's meet up. I can't wait to see you in person and like talk. There's other people that I haven't met in person, but I would consider them some of my closest friends. The kind of thing that like I would invite them to my wedding, even though I've never met them before, right? It's really, really fun to actually find that close connection, even if it is online. My best friend painted these for me. They're like Peter and Wendy. They're so beautiful. I kind of think that online third spaces should be supplemental to physical third spaces. Like they shouldn't replace anything. I think it's really important that people have that physical third space that they can go to, or at least find some, at least at some point in their lives, because I've felt like I've belonged in a community more than at any other point when I had a third space to go to. Yeah, I think it's really important, and online just doesn't get the same feeling. These ones are from Fan Expo Canada last summer, so 2023. This is Jodie Benson, the original voice of Ariel. This is Hayden Christensen, Anakin Skywalker. Kind of cool. I'll go to 2 or 3 Comic-Cons in a year. I really love how that becomes the third space for the weekend. It's a place that you can go and hang out and just be yourself and hang out with other like-minded people. Yeah, it's only for 3 or 4 days, but some people go and they go to all the panels. Some people go specifically just to cosplay and they hang out in a big empty hall where all the people who cosplay go and like take photos and talk to other people who cosplay. Or they go shopping, which is kind of my favorite part. It's so fun seeing all the independent artists and what they've created in relation to pop culture. Best part, in my opinion. The first time that I went to an event that had like cosplay as a feature was the first time I went to Comic-Con. When I walked into the hall for the very first time, it was like, oh my God. I turned to my friends and I literally told them, I swear I had tears in my eyes or something, but I felt it. I felt it so deep in my soul. I told them, I'm home. I think it was the first time that I felt truly seen. There were so many other people like me, dressed up in crazy cosplays and not looking normal, and it's not Halloween. It's the middle of summer, so it's not normal, or whatever you define normal to be. It was a whirlwind. It was absolutely insane. I walked through the convention all day. My feet were sore by the end of it, and it was absolutely incredible. I had little kids come up to me and ask for photos. It was the most adorable thing. Totally made my day as well. And just, you know, interacting with everybody who was like me, it felt so good. Everything that I do comes from a place of love and a sense of belonging. Like I really wouldn't have continued cosplay if I feel like there was no place for it. So the fact that conventions exist and online spaces exist to show off your work kind of prompts me to keep going. Like I did my Rarity cosplay, which was the first one, and I wouldn't have continued had I not gone to that first convention and seen that there's more I could do with it. So I think having those spaces in general is just really, really important, just to spark a little bit of inspiration, of passion in people. Because now I can't imagine my life without cosplay. It's very much a Zootopia quote, but anyone can be anything. If you want something, if you want to be something, work for it, do it. Don't listen to what anyone else says. think that's what I gotta say.